Okay, primarily, why are so many people adapting to social media? And it's all relevant to what we call social proof. I didn't come up with this. This is another from Wikipedia, but it makes sense. So, social proof, also known as informational social influence, is a psychological phenomenon that occurs in ambiguous social situations when people are unable to determine the appropriate mode of behavior, making the assumption that surrounding people possess more knowledge about the situation. They will deem the behavior of others as appropriate or better informed. Social influence in general can lead to conformity of large groups of individuals in either correct or mistaken choices, a phenomenon sometimes referred to as herd behavior. Although social proof, at least in part, reflects a rational motive to take into account the information of others, formal analysis shows that it can cause people to converge too quickly upon a single choice, so that decisions of even large groups of individuals may reflect very little information. Now, that's the Wikipedia definition, but it is really, really, really true. In the last 3 or 4 years, I haven't booked a hotel, I haven't bought a product without checking online first to see what other people are saying. I'm just wondering how many other people are doing the same as me? Exactly. So that's basically what social proof is. Another very simple explanation would be you're in a strange city, there's 2 restaurants side by side, one has a lineup of 10-15 people, the other has nobody in the restaurant. Due to the social proof and the influence, you're going to choose the restaurant that has the lineup. And so what happens is your online persona is so critical now to make sure that you have articles that people can read and comments that are hopefully good. Now on that note, sometimes there's bad comments, and a lot of our clients will say, oh gosh, sometimes we do have unhappy clients. I think that happens with any particular business. But you can turn something negative into a positive. So even if somebody complains, now with Google Places and various different blogs, you can basically say, well, thank you, sir or ma'am, we understand your situation. However, why don't you give us a call and we'll give you a free night's stay at XYZ hotel or whatever it may be. So there is ways of doing it. So this is what's critical in marketing with social media and all of the tourism operators. We need to have people wanting to comment on the various different activities that they've done, what the hotels are like, good or bad. So in a way, it gives people far more control power, if you like, because our influence is substantial now. And you've seen the stat, only 14% of people believe in the typical advertising campaigns. They just don't simply believe them, but they do believe other people, which comes back to the social proof. And this is, I had to do this experience, and this is just some of the things that I did with my iPhone when I went on my trip. I just got back a couple of weeks ago. I didn't book any hotels, any Vegas show tickets. Absolutely everything was done on my mobile phone. So about half an hour or an hour before I would reach a given city, I'd pull up the iPhone, I'd use my voice app, and I'd look for various different hotels and restaurants and various different things. And almost everything was using SMS and those types of things, which I'm going to explain. But that's how I got all of the best deals. So even in Vegas, I mean, if you text Mirage 212121, that's your daily specials for the hotel and stuff like that. I have yet to see here in Vancouver Island anybody using SMS the way I would like. I haven't seen a single billboard except for TV like American Idol and stuff like that that are pushing this SMS, and we're going to talk a little bit about that soon. Okay, and how many smartphone users do we have here? Okay, not even half. Okay, so this is part of adapting to technology. The mobile phone is predicted in the next 3 years, including iPad and Samsung and these various different tablets, that over 60% of the surfing public is going to be using mobile devices. So it's very, very difficult to understand if you're not using a smartphone. And again, back to my trip, everything was booked on that smartphone. I expected to see mobile formatted sites. I expected to use SMS to basically get the deals of the day. So it's very, very, very important that we adapt to that. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about YouTube and a little bit about viral videos. And I should just mention, by the way, that Anybody can be their own media, and especially with some of these smartphones that have high-definition video and stuff like that, you've got to look at yourselves as your own news reporters. So everything you do, if you go to a B&B conference, take some pictures of yourselves in front of the conference hall. Take a little bit of video if they allow it. So literally anything and everything you do is applicable to marketing here for Vancouver Island. Has anybody seen the Spice commercial? We're going to play the Spice commercial. Okay, a few. Let's take a peek here.
Hello, ladies. Look at your man. Now back to me. Now back to your man. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. But if you stop using lady-scented body wash and switch to Old Spice, he could smell like he's me. Look down. Back up. Where are you? You're on the boat. The man, your man, could smell it. What's in your hand? Back at me. I am. It's an oyster with 2 tickets to that thing you love. Look again. The tickets are now diamond. Anything is possible when your man smells like Old Spice and not a lady. I'm on course.
After the first week, Old Spice had over 14 million views. OldSpice.com website traffic was up 300%. The campaign increased sales by 27% over 6 months since launching year on year. And in the last month, sales were up 107% from social responses campaign work. Old Spice is now the #1 body wash brand for men. One video, one clever viral video in conjunction with social media basically put them right back to the #1 brand once again. And by the way, I forgot something very, very, very special with reference to the Old Spice. So for the ladies only, I have somebody I'd like to introduce. Joshua.
Sadly, it doesn't smell like me. But if he stops using ladylike smelling thing and starts to use Old Spice, he might smell it.
Thank you, Joshua. Okay, we're going to move a little bit more into mobile and tourism. Has anybody seen a QR code? Okay, a little less than half. Okay, so we definitely need a lot more. QR codes have been around for a long time. I'm going to explain a little bit more about how they work and what they do. QR code is a specific matrix barcode or two-dimensional code readable by dedicated QR barcode readers and camera phones. Now, I had to download the one on my iPhone. I believe the BlackBerry has one built in. So how many people with smartphones have QR code readers? Okay, we've got a few. That's good. Okay, so we need to see a lot more QR codes being used. The code consists of black modules arranged in square pattern on a white background. On my trip, I've seen several different, believe it or not, paintings based on QR codes that were real. So some of the artists are actually turning it into art. The information encoded can be text, URL, or other data. And this is one of our QR codes. I can scan any QR code, and in this particular case, it goes directly to our mobile website, which is formatted for mobile. And now I'm going to put on my environmental hat a little bit here as well. But I'm sure a lot of you have been to the various different trade shows and stuff like that, I'm sure. And you know that all the print material that you need, and you need to print for your own business, well, with QR codes, you can actually eliminate that. And even if there's a lineup at a particular booth, you take your smartphone and bleep, 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 and all of the data, very much like a landing page, is all derived from that QR code. And creating QR codes, by the way, is free. And you just basically put in your website address or whatever you want, and it creates it immediately. So it's creating major buzz. We've seen a great big billboard. I'm not sure if it was Los Angeles or Las Vegas, but anyways, a huge billboard with just one QR code. So, and the amount of people, of course, scanning this QR code with simply curiosity is very, 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 very high. Okay, and here's some examples that are all over the place. So I've seen all kinds of people with QR codes on their T-shirts, mostly in Hollywood, and it goes directly either to their Facebook or something like that. So basically, QR me and come to my Facebook type of thing. So it's I've seen them on hats. I've seen belt buckles with them. You name it, they're all over the place. And it's a very, very, very interesting media that is very inexpensive, and all of it is trackable with reference to how much traffic you're getting when people are scanning your QR codes. And another example is when you're buying a home, I know this is tourism, but I've seen them all over, is have you ever been looking for a home and you go in front of it, you're not with your realtor, and there isn't a spec sheet on a home, and you know how frustrating that gets? Okay, so in the US and all over, your QR code is right there that goes directly to a virtual tour. So you simply scan the QR code in front of the house that you're at, automatically you can get the virtual tour of exactly what's in that house with links to call the realtor immediately when you're ready to place your offer. So I don't think any realtors on Vancouver Island that I've seen, I haven't seen any realtor signs with QR codes, but it's definitely going to be coming.
I do.
Oh, you do? Are you a realtor?
I'm a realtor.
Excellent. And you're using those on your signs?
I use them on my signs, on my newsletters, and the articles that I print in the paper.
Fantastic. We need a lot more people like you in realty and everything else to adapt to this technology, because that's fantastic. And where did you learn about it? I'm just curious.
Just trying to stay on top of the trends and
Okay.
and the fact that it is so predominant in Europe. And
Okay, fair enough then. And with reference to, yes?
Sorry, just a question. And is it working?
it's working. You know, we are still, as mobile devices become that much more, I've got more people right now phoning me and asking me what it is. Oh, we thought it was a puzzle. Once you explain, people start going, you mean I can do that on my phone? So it's become just a huge opportunity.
Fantastic, yes.
Can you track what kind of response you're getting through your QR codes? Is there a way to track it when it drives to your website?
Yes, what happens is you create a landing page for the QR code, and then when you go in your statistical program, hopefully Google Analytics, it will show you exactly how much traffic you're getting from that page. Excellent question, by the way. I've got just enough time to finish up, and then we'll have a few questions. Okay, how many people are using SMS, short message system? One, two, okay. So this is the new newsletter system, so to speak. So what happens is when somebody, in our case, texts Webacom to 212121, it is automatic acceptance that you know that you're going to get a mobile text or a voice message from that SMS. Now we use a shared SMS. You can, that runs maybe $70 to $100 a month. If you want your own, you've got to drop $20,000 to $30,000. So this is a shared one. You pick a keyword, whatever campaign or whatever it might be. Say in Jan's case, text kayak to 212121, and that would automatically go into the texting system, like a newsletter system, and then Jan or whoever is accepting these can send out a broadcast through text messaging to say kayak specials of this week are XYZ. So it's an extremely efficient way to get information right away. And certainly for tourism and the chambers, I definitely think that they should be using the SMS, because again, it's trackable and you're able to communicate them versus spam, because email now is just, we get so much spam. The open ratio with mobile texting is something like 70% versus email, which is less than 1%. I'm talking about unsolicited messages. So it's really not that expensive. And you know, when you consider, you know, $80 to $100 a month or something like that, but once you get that keyword, you won't be going back, and then basically your email address, your business card will have your new SMS shortcode. And so if anybody needs information on that, just let us know. Okay, yes?
Just briefly, for the SMS, like I don't have to manually reply to every text message I get.
No, you can do it with autoresponders with either text, or you can actually do a voice message as well. So when somebody texts you, it could actually ring the cell phone and say, hi, this is XYZ. Thank you for subscribing to our SMS list. Okay? All right, sounds good then. At this point then, we're going to bring up our next speaker.